Hey everyone, it's Josh of JHS here. I have been asked to guest host the whatever number episode this is of What's on Your Pedalboard. Does anybody know the number? Let's say it's the 10,000th episode of What's on Your Pedalboard, and I have Lari Basilio here.
I'm excited to be here.
All right, awesome. We're gonna look at this board. First of all, it looks good. The last time I saw you, you had a different board.
Yes.
So okay, it's good. It's good. I haven't seen this board. Yeah. Let's just walk through it. I guess start with what's your board and what's your power supply, because people care. So you're using this. Is it D'Addario or D'Addario? In the comments, fight. All right, I'm gonna say D'Addario. I think it's D'Addario. I'm not gonna gamble. Is it D'Addario?
D'Addario.
I think that's right. There's a
D'Addario?
third. This is not part of her pedal board, but some of you care. I was so puzzled by this. I used to call their phone number to hear the intro,
right.
And I still can't remember. All right, so anyway, this board is cool. It actually expands. Exactly. Over on the left side. Yeah. You can pull
bigger.
It out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, my pedal board is super straightforward, I would say.
I love these cables. These are the American Stage Planet Waves.
Exactly.
And I see you're using the Planet Waves patch cables. I've never seen this board. I like the shape. Classic. So let's start with your path. You go into the Polytune 3. So why do you pick this one?
I love the size. The curse is great. From the Polytune, we go into the Seymour Duncan Vise grip compressor. Yeah. Yeah,
I've said a lot on my show and in different places. This Seymour Duncan pedal line is so underrated.
I love Seymour Duncan pedals.
Yeah, it's wild. So you have a signature pickup set.
Exactly.
And then obviously the pedals, I'm sure you've been around them a lot. Yeah, the engineering on this brand of pedals over the years is wild. One of the first fuzzes, I had tried fuzz pedals for years, and I hated them all because I wasn't using them right. But then there was an old yellow, it was called the Tweak Fuzz. I don't know if you remember this. Had like a click rotary. It was it kind of changed my mind on fuzz. This is way before JHS. But yeah, I love that line. So
it's great. Yeah.
We won't demonstrate the tuner, let's demonstrate the tuner. Great, done. Okay. So let's go to the Vise grip. You're using that. I'm really curious about this because I've never actually paid attention to your compressor tone.
Yeah, I don't use a compressor that much. I use in very specific situations like for clean, for groove stuff, funk stuff. But I love this compressor, especially because of this little switch that we have there that we can choose what frequencies are going to be blended. So it's so useful. I love it.
Is that blending the compressor in or clean in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's parallel clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my clean tone. So I love this compressor to bring a little bit more volume and body to my sound. And I have that switch set to full, F for full.
Yeah, so all the frequency is there.
Exactly, okay. So the difference. It brings up everything a little more. Yeah.
Compressors are so hard to explain. It's always I hate compressors, or people it's hard to understand. I think it's important, and this is a good example, it's not so much an effect. It's not like you're going to turn it on and the crowd's going to cheer. Because when you spend money on an effect, you kind of want this result, or it's you feel like you want another toy of some sort. Or maybe a better metaphor is you're a painter and you have colors. Sometimes it's a little hard to understand that. It's almost like a primer if you're talking paint. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the moment you turn it on in the room with you, it's such an obvious, oh, her foundational sound is so much bigger and more full. There is obviously the turn the compressor up in chicken pit country. That's an effect. But so few people do that.
Yeah.
Do you play any country?
No. No, not at all. I wish.
Maybe in 10 years you'll put out a full-blown country record.
I should.
It's hard.
Oh my gosh,
it's really hard.
It's crazy, yeah. So yeah, I think it's a matter of feeling. So the compressor brings to the player, a different level of comfortable, depends on the situation that he's looking for. It's
a very much you feel it as you play when you find a compressor you like. So here's a question for you. You have your compressor pre-drives.
Yep.
This is such a debate. I do pre-drives too, but a lot of people are post-drive, or die, nothing else. So is there a reason you chose that, or is it just how you started using it?
I just like it this way, I prefer this way, nothing too technical or like specific about it. It just feel better to me. Yeah.
That's the right answer. Yeah, I mean, literally, I think it's that simple. We get a lot of emails, you know.
Right.
What should I? What do you? And we have this cheesy saying of like, just try stuff.
Yeah.
Like generally, it's like what feels best. A lot of people will put it after drives, though. I've always found that complicated because, especially in your case, we'll get there with the Violets. They already compress. Like they're sustaining and compressing. They're clamping the signal. So you end up with like a lot of drives are doing some of that. And then also the thing with compressors would be it's noisy. Why is it noisy? I think that's usually when it's after the drives because the compressor's pulling up noise and pushing down volume. So it ends up making like any amount of amp noise louder. So that's cool. I like that it's pre. So what's next after that Vise grip?
After Vise grip, we have the Morning Glory, the purple Morning Glory.
Horrible company.
So
yeah.
I've been using this pedal for many, many years now. I'm a huge fan.
We talked about this today. I couldn't remember where I met you. I assumed it was NAMM because NAMM's like, it's like the state fair of guitar. It's like everyone's there. But I actually met you at this other event. You were in a studio. And I remember you had been using a Morning Glory and some other stuff. So I sent you this as a gift years ago.
Yeah.
So what drew you to that? There's a lot of overdrives.
First of all, I love easy pedals. As you guys can see, I just have easy pedals on my pedalboard, like pedals that are very easy to, find a tone. And I think this is an amazing characteristic of JHS pedals. The tone itself of the Morning Glory, I love this a little bit, how can I say it? Like dry, not too wet kind of drive.
The buzzword is like the transparent thing,
Yes.
which becomes exhausting. But yeah, it's like the drive is there, but you don't feel like your amp and stuff changed. It feels like what you had, but just a little better or a little more like gainy.
I'm using the Morning Glory in many of my songs, my records. It's everywhere for my sound. Yeah, I love it.
You have the drive pretty high.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. Red channel.
I don't see this a lot. The red channel with a pretty decent amount of drive. I've always used it. I could have a Morning Glory without the red channel and never miss it. But I know that people, they like that extra bite. Some of you or most of you may not have any idea what red channel means. There's a toggle, so when you flip it, the light changes. Blue is low gain, red is high gain, and there's a jack on the side. You can have a remote pedal to do that if you want to. So you got tuner, compressors at the front. Morning Glory is like your first stage overdrive. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Then where do we go from there?
And then we have the Violet.
This brand new pedal.
Yeah.
Just the visual of, so that we have these two colorways. This visual's fun. It's like two of the same pedal, but they look different. Is really,
Yeah.
When you pulled your board out, I was like, that's fun. Yeah, I'd never quite seen it like that. I'm assuming you're doing Morning Glory's like stage 1, the Violet is stage 2, and then the Black Violet is 3. Is that right?
Yep.
All right, let's show them, I guess.
Although I think this setting that I have right here in the purple Violet pedal is pretty close to the Morning Glory setting.
It is. Part of me feels like you're keeping the Morning Glory on there just because it's like been around a while, you might move on just to using, I understand that. You're probably so used to it. I know when we were working on it and then we did another video, the JHS video of this, it's really obvious that we accidentally stumbled into this pedal almost, well, it kind of does a better Morning Glory thing for you, which means it will for a lot of people. And I think what that is the Morning Glory, I've had people over the years say, I wish it was just a little more heavy. But I was always like, well, that's not what it's for. And I never could land that. And I think the Violet accidentally did it. So that's what you're using this one for?
Yeah, it's like pretty
Just a heavier overdrive sound.
Yeah. It's pretty close to the...
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that sounds like a transparent low gain overdrive. So black. This is going to be like the riff monster. Isn't
Yes,
it? Okay.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, as we talked before, like the Violet idea was to have like a distortion pedal, was for it to be a distortion pedal. So when you first sent me the prototype, I just tried it like full gain like a first time. For me, I wanted to see what it did, like full
Yeah,
gain.
it's like, hey, Lori, let's make a signature distortion pedal.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do? You get it. You turn it on 11, like Spinal Tap, and you're like, how heavy does it get? And this other setting that we just heard, the violet colored one, is a happy accident. So this is what we all had in mind, and that's how you're using the black one.
Exactly. So
Okay.
the mids were always very important part of my sound, and you just nailed it like in the most beautiful way. I love everything you did. You really worked your magic.
It's still going. It's so clear for a high gain distortion pedal, but not clear in that usually to clear up high gain, you end up with treble. And treble's like, usually it's but you have the attack and it's the big low end. I'm so thrilled with how that turned
Yeah,
out.
me too.
Yeah.
So exciting. Yeah.
This is up here. This is the proto. I believe there's a couple other prototypes. I don't even. Do you have another proto?
Yeah, I do. I
You
do.
have a like a plain metal
Yes,
one? That one's
exactly,
cool. And
yeah.
yeah, so we have this weird looking proto, I think, with little trim pots. This was the one you toured with for a while.
Yeah, for like almost 2 years, I guess.
Did people like, what is this all the time? I'm sure, like clinics and things.
Yeah.
What did you tell people?
I would tell that it was something that I was working on, but you know,
It's also like so obviously a JHS pedal, which is a little bit of the troll of this.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's great.
obviously, like if you're seeing it that way, you go, that's probably a JHS pedal.
But yeah, I play this pedal so much. Yeah.
All right, so we've got this path. Now we're to time-based effects. So you have a really simple setup. A lot of players, like in your genre, the boards can get crazy. I love how simple your board is. You're running right into one of my favorite delay pedals ever made that people are like, really? And I go, yeah, it's one of my favorite delays, the Flashback. What setting do you use?
I have those little marks right there because I'm using this pedal like for one specific sound
Okay.
for one of my songs.
Yeah. Yeah, what mode are you on? Dynamic.
Dynamic, yeah.
So you're using the dynamic mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's demonstrate this. Do you
So-
do tap tempo or is it just preset?
No, it's just preset.
Okay.
I marked right there. So it's for this specific sound.
So this is a classic dotted eighth sound and like perfectly set. So you just have that to the tempo of your song and you have it marked and that's just where you live.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
that. And for one song.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's something amazing about, I see this a lot, you know, with artists over the years. There's like this one pedal for one song. How many times have you wanted to not put it on your board? A lot?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
But we need to have it.
And from what you said, I think I share a similar, as different, like I can't play anything like you. We're very different players. I think we share this like mechanical brain that's like, I really just like having simple pedals with like 2-3 knobs. That's what you were saying earlier, just like very simple things. That's why JHS is simple. So I always have a hard time with these like big programmable delays with menus and screens in the iPhone app. And I can tell you're avoiding it at all costs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, I'm a simple person.
Yeah. So that flashback dynamic mode,
I love it. Sounds great.
it's killer. That
Sounds
was a great
yeah.
demonstration of it. Can you do that with like some high gain just for fun?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's just experiment. And then GNI is severely underappreciated. Brilliant designs. Tell me about your relationship to this company and brand, because I know about it because Andy Timmons gave me that pedal. He said he was at a clinic in Brazil and met GNI. I believe, I could be getting that wrong, but I have quite a few of these now. This is a tap tempo analog delay.
Yep.
In this, I'm gonna say small enclosure. I don't like small enclosures because they're hard for me sometimes. But like it's like very nicely sized. It's not miniature. It's like the perfect size. And I know how hard it is to make an analog bucket brigade delay with tap tempo. So this pedal's always impressed me that it's that size. So like, how did you stumble into this brand?
So yeah, they're a brand from Brazil. For those who
Okay.
who don't know, I am from Brazil.
Okay.
Grew up, watching my favorite Brazilian players play, local brands.
Yeah.
And I've been always a fan of GNI and all the stuff that they do. And this is probably my favorite pedal from their line. It's amazing. I just love how it sounds. It's very simple. As you can see, I love the size as well. It's great. It has a great tone. It's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect. It's the bucket brigade. Every repeat's a little darker, a little dirtier.
I love that it's not too bright. I think it blends so well to my lead tone.
Yeah.
I think that's why I love so much. And it's pretty much, this is the setting that I use like most of the time with the tempo at max and the mix. It depends on the room that I am. I bring it up a little. And the feedback's pretty much all
So
the
you're
same,
not
yeah.
really ever tapping in a tempo.
It's very rare,
So
yeah.
you just have like a max, which is probably near us. Well, hit it again. How long is that? 800 milliseconds,
Yeah.
something like that. So that's cool. Yeah, and that you use that on solos primarily.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
So-
show us that.
I can bring it up a
Yeah.
little bit more, mix. It sounds great. I
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
just a classic, really wonderful quarter note delay. I love also that you don't use the tap tempo. You're just so minimal. You barely have any pedals, and you're not even using all of the pedals' abilities. This is amazing. It's almost like you're playing guitar really good first. The first time I ever saw this brand was this pedal on your board. This morning I saw another one here at Sweetwater.
Really?
It was like a treble booster. Yeah, tell me about this brand and this pedal.
So this is the Secret Path. It's a reverb pedal from Black Country Customs, which is a brand from Laney. Yes.
Okay, I put that together today for the first time ever. All right.
So yeah, made in the UK. Once again, very simple pedal, beautiful tones. It has 3 different types of reverb. The one that I use the most is the Secret Path, so the clean sound with the reverb. I just love that it creates a little space.
It's like a modulated hall or something? What does it say it is? It sounds beautiful.
I don't think there's any.
It just says
mods.
Secret
Yeah,
Path?
the Secret Path.
Play it again. Let me diagnose this reverb.
Yeah,
pedal.
yeah.
That's interesting. It's really cool. It's like if a Waffle House was like 10,000 square feet. Because there's the tiles. I don't know. That's what came to mind. I'm from Alabama. I don't know. I think of Waffle Houses and reverb. Because they have there's a vibe, all the tile. It's like a slightly modulated plate or a hall, I think.
It also has a feature that I love. When you hold the knob, it goes to shimmer sound. Yeah.
I need to check all of the. Laney, just like email me or something. Like I've never played any of these. It's wild. Both that I've seen today. I mean, I knew about this from you. They're phenomenal. What's your relationship with Laney? So in England, you've used this amp forever.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the deal?
I've been using Laney for many years now. The Lionheart's probably my favorite one. I take this amp with me on the road, in the studio, but I also love some other amps like the Ironheart for more, heavier stuff as well. They're amazing people as well. So
I guess that's it. That's Lari's board.
Super simple.
It's amazing how well you use what you use. It's not a trap. I wanted to say there's always the trap with pedals, but people are motivated to make music in different ways. For some people, you buy pedals and you play with them and, you have a different experience with guitar. It's more about kind of like toys and you get to explore different sounds. With you, what's cool is you really have this fine-tuned approach, like your music, your songs, and you have exactly what you need. You could have a bigger board, but you probably wouldn't enjoy it. So there's just so many different people,
Yeah, exactly.
I like that it's so minimal and so well used.
Well, thank you. I mean, I have a lot of fun, exploring gear. I just love to sit down and I'm not afraid, to tweak the buttons and try to find my sound. It's always difficult to put out the sound that we have in your heads and translate to all of the gear. We need to keep it fun, right? So
yeah. How many albums are you at now?
3, going to the 4th is coming out in early 2025, and I have an EP as well. So
you're working on that now, yeah. So you get to this place, I've seen this with player after player. The more albums you put out, the harder the pedalboard gets, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you feel like with your new record, you'll have to do a new board, or is this the board like?
I think this one's gonna work. It's gonna work well. Yeah.
We'll see Lari in like 10 years, and she'll have like, what was the pedal train like Mondo? They'll be wheeling it in. I highly doubt this, but it would make me laugh. Yeah. And you're playing like Jazz Masters or something. It won't ever happen. That's alternate universe, Lari. Yeah.
That would be funny.
This is cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. If any of this is interesting, I guess Sweetwater carries everything for the most part. I believe every bit of this. Maybe not GNI, but call up your Sweetwater sales engineer and check out Lari's music. What's your shameless plug? Where can they hear your records? Where can they follow you?
LariBasilio.com. Everything about me is there.
That was easy. All right. Bye-bye.